Okay, let's go right to it. Learn another pair of letters. Ain, usually indicated by small c. And Ghain, usually GH. Ghain. Ain. The way they're written, it's like small c above the line and a big C underneath the line. Small c above the line, big C underneath the line. And for the Ghain, it's exactly the same, except there's a dot. Gha, like the French R. So when it's at the first letter, it's just the top C stays, then instead of ending there, you actually pull forward to the next letter, meaning it connects. Now, when it is written in the middle of a word, notice that it actually makes this interesting shape, which is like a triangle. And the same thing when it's final, it actually looks like so. So let me write these two here. In the middle, so we're coming from, let's say, sin, then forward, then make upside down triangle, really, like that. And then let's go to the shin. Sa, ha, sa, or sha. So it's critical to see. I mean, print it looks a little different, but in writing it's just an upside down triangle. Let's write one more. Ba, a, tha. Ba, a, tha, which is to send, as to send a letter. Ba'atha. Same with the ghain. So it's the same way. The fatha should be right on top here. So the small c stays there, but then you pull forward and move to the next one. And you do the same triangle right here. And final triangle right here. Na, gha, sa, na, gha, sa. So now to again this triangle, that's the ain. You cannot write it this way. You can now, I've seen people do it. It's a rarity and it's not acceptable. You cannot write ha that way. Fa and qaf. Fa and qaf. First you start right here and you move forward, and it looks like the ba otherwise, the end of it at least, then a dot on top. So we start a little bit above the line, then make a loop forward and a dot. Qaf, on the other hand, you start exactly like the fa, except you actually make that noon shape and two dots. So you start above the line and then you go below the line and then you end up just above the line. Qaf. When they are in words, as you can see here, it connects left and right, both of them do. So this tells you that it connects this way, that the fatha should go right there. So fa, fu, and fi. And notice the connection back and forth. So let's write it here. So na, fa, fa. Na, fa, fa. Na, fa, that. Na, fa, that. Na, fa, that. Same with the qaf, connects left and right. Na, qa, ba. So that's noon. This is the qaf with the shadda, which is to drill or to explore for oil. Naqqaba. 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 Naqqa. Fatha and dot. Naqqaba. This is called kaf. and this is lam, and sound is K and the sound is L. And isolated, the kaf looks something like this. It's like a bigger del, then you put this almost like the beginning of the a in there. The lam, on the other hand, let's see, also the kaf, you may write it this way, so you write it that much, and instead of putting the squiggly thing, you could actually add a 30 degrees or 40 degrees angle line like that. Let's do it again. So you write like a big del, and then you start right here and you pull forward a straight line, and that's kaf. The lam is straightforward, so it's like the aleph, and then you make the N shape, or the half circle, and you end up above the line. So the height of an aleph, then you make like the N. Couple tricky things. So for the kaf, when it's the initial letter, when it's the first letter, it can never appear like that. It can only show up like that. So like that, then ka, sa, ba. Ka, sa, and this should be smaller here. Kasaba, kasaba. Ne, ka, tha. Nun, kaf, and that's tha. Nakatha. Final, you may actually use the isolated shape as bika, bika. Lam, so that's isolated. It makes just like a 90 degrees angle, so for initial. And lan, for example, which is will not. Or ba, la, dun, balad, balad, which means country, balad. And if it's final, layl, layl means night or evening, balad and layl. So you see here, final L, initial L, medial L. The next letter, beautiful M. So this is the M, meme. And you start here, move back, make a full circle, then move up again, quarter, like a quarter, and then trace yourself back and then end up this way. I've also seen people write it just like this. It looks pretty, but it's not common. So, but this is the common, this is the official meme. Something like this. So you start in, there is this trick, you have to pull it back right there. Pull it back this way. Make a circle, but pull it back. Make sure you come from the top and come down. That's the trick, come from the top and come down. Because otherwise it will be confused with other letters. So that's initial, we know how or isolated, how the isolated looked like. It looks a little bit like the hein when it's printed, but it's not. So initially, min, from. Yeah, nah, mu. Notice the meme here, it's final, and I put it right after an aleph to show you that when the aleph does not connect one way, so it looks like a final meme, or actually an isolated meme. Yanam, to sleep, or he sleeps. Ya, mi, and nun, yamin, which means oath, yamin, or also means right, like the right hand, left hand. Here's a tricky thing. The lam, when you attach to the aleph, you would expect it to be like lam plus aleph to look like this. well, that's a no-no. You cannot do that. It will either look this way, with this artistic shape, or simply this way. So I'll put it right on the line right here. So you come like this, make this 90 degrees, then at 45 degrees angle you put the alif. So 90 degrees, then at 45 degrees you put that. These two are this acceptable, but this no. And if it is to be followed by other things, so lam plus alif plus other stuff, there will be space here, because you know the alif does not connect, so keep that in mind. Here is, for example, the word Islam, how it looks like. So alif goes at that angle, is la and mim, al-Islam, which means Islam. View. Harakat. Long alif, a, u, e, a, u, e. Then sukoon, which is a pause or stop. Then a shadda, stress. And there is more. But let's look at some examples and see how they're pronounced. So, kataba, to write. Kataba, kataba. Katibun, or katib. Katib, author. Kitab, book. Book. Ghurab, crow. Ghurab. Gharb, west. Gharb. Maghrib, sunset. Qamar, moon. Qamar. Shams, sun.